part one, The Roots of Life. He has 14 tracks. Now, when you take that album, Lagazee, you cannot isolate any track out of the 14. It won a Grammy. I wouldn't say I predicted, but I did mention that if this album does not win a Grammy, then there's no justice for reggae music. And he did win a Grammy. You know, so an album with 14 tracks, and I've only got 2 hours to do a show. You know, I'm trying to highlight, I'm trying to push that music to the people. So that is why I don't play, you know, Ghanaian artists, but there's no other reason. If you know, Jah give me strength and I'm here and I'm going to be staying for a longer period than I usually do, you'll be surprised. I'll totally embrace the Ghana thing straight, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
But we were discussing something earlier on before we started the whole thing. And you were saying that, you know, when you come to Ghana, all the big people, all the big men, when you go into their cars, they play reggae music.
Absolutely.
Everybody plays reggae. So why do you think they don't want to support the industry?
I'll tell you what, from my personal experience and observation, you know, I did have locks, you know, some years ago. And I came in and I brought an initiative, you know, that I tried to push forward. But what I realized was we live in a conservative country. You know, our country is very conservative. And people in their houses, in their rooms, in their privacy would embrace certain things, but then on the outward, they don't want to be seen, to be associated with it. Now, the big stigma that is attached to reggae is the fact that people that are involved in reggae have a certain lifestyle that does not conform to the norms. You know, I don't want to say anything specific, but I'm sure our listeners, our viewers can know what I'm talking about. Now, so the big men don't want to be seen to be associating themselves with a genre of music that might have certain aspects that don't conform to our society. You know, so I brought a project that I wanted to work on. Lagazee, every door that, when I speak to people on the phone, is fine until I appear, you know, and then they see the looks, they see and then the excuses start flowing. You know, so I think it's just a fear of association by big people to the genre and the slight negativity in quotes that they think comes with it. That is what the challenge is. But they love reggae music. I've been to big people's houses, their offices, you know, on a personal level, and I've made recordings, you know, for big people. I've made collections of big people, and they love the genre of music. They love the reggae music, but they don't want to be seen outside. I think it's the conservative nature, you know, of our system. That's what it is. I don't know how we're going to overcome it, but that's what it is. You know?
So, Skelly, looking at the country Ghana, you know, Rocky Dawuni is making Ghanaians proud because the Irama Awards is on it.
Absolutely.
And trust me, you know, I used to say that if we say reggae music, it's not good. If we say we don't respect reggae music, look at Rocky Dawuni. He is making Ghanaians proud through reggae music.
Worldwide.
So what is preventing us from supporting it? You see, not hip life, not high life, not hip hop, nothing. It's reggae music that's putting Ghana there.
Absolutely.
So what exactly is happening?
And the other thing as well is to support what you said about Rocky Dawuni. When Samini won the Mobile, you know, some years ago, I mean, Samini is the first, or I would say, okay, we've had winners from Nigeria as well. I'm not sure if Samini won before the Nigerians did, but I mean, it's a huge achievement. And Samini is a dancehall artist, and he won the Mobile. Mobile is the UK's equivalent of the Grammys in the US. You know, I think the industry players should realize that the world is moving on, and the conservative nature of our thought processes is going to hinder our development rather than, you know, to give us the progression we need. They need to shed off that conservative thought process and see the potential we have as a people, and the individuals that want to do reggae music, the artists that want to do reggae music. It's about time the people with money see beyond, you know, that shallow level of reggae having a negative touch to it. You understand? If we don't get to that stage, if the players, otherwise what's going to happen is people like yourself and myself, Jah give us life and strength. As we move on in our fields, you know, and we try to make links, we succeed in making links, then we are going to be the generation that would then project, you know, what we want to do in reggae music in a way forward. So it's two ways. It's either the big people shed off their conservative ways, or we, the youth, take this in our own hands, you know, and once we have the opportunity, we start working towards it and maybe forget about our big men that are not willing to help us.
You know? Skelly, do you think Ghana as a nation is going to look at reggae music someday to come?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, like I said earlier, if you look at somebody like myself, okay, I give thanks all the time because I've been fortunate to work in certain circles. And they speak of Ghanaians very highly, okay? And people want to come to Ghana. I mean, how many artists have been to Ghana so far? Loads. International acts.
Yeah.
There's loads of them that have been to Ghana because they've heard about Ghana. They know when it comes to our democracy, when it comes to how peaceful our country is. So people out there are willing to embrace Ghanaians and what Ghanaians are doing. So we are going to get there. Like I said, we, this generation, will make it happen. If the big people are not going to make it happen, we will get there one day. But it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of determination. It takes a lot of sacrifices, you know, and we shouldn't give up. Before the program, I give thanks for this opportunity because some years ago, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to sit down and reason about reggae music.
Yeah, true.
But this is where we are now. So who knows what's going to happen in the next 5 years? You know, so we just have to stay focused and positive. And I'm sure we're going to get there. Ghana is going to get there. Rocky Darwin is already carrying that flag. Samini is carrying the flag. Black Prophet is carrying that flag. You know, there are a lot more people to come. We are going to get there. We shouldn't give up. We need to keep fighting.
We are going to get there. We shouldn't give up. Says Skelly. You don't know, man. International DJ. Skelly.
Yes, sir.
Brief. Tell us what you do outside.
Okay. You know, we have to work and make a living. In as much as we have a passion for something we do, we still have to do other things because in some places there's bills to be paid, you know, on a daily basis and stuff like that. So when it comes to a regular 9 to 5, I'm in a 9 to 5 employment with a certain company. But then when it comes to the reggae music thing, I make sure that with my employers, I create the time to follow this passion. And that is one of the clauses I will put into going into work for anybody. That look, apart from working for you, I have other interests. So I would need to have the time to be able to pursue those interests. Now, that interest is playing reggae music on radio, producing reggae shows, and then touring. Okay? So, when it comes to touring, the only people that I usually tour with outside of the United Kingdom will be the Morgan Heritage family.
Oh, I see.
You know, the Morgan Heritage family have started, or they started doing solo projects.
Yeah.
Okay, so on their solo projects, I'm with Mojo, Peter as a tour manager in Europe, you know, everywhere we
tour manager?
Well, I give thanks. I mean, we just finished the tour in February with Mojo and Peter in Switzerland. I think we did Switzerland and France and Italy. You know, and what's nice, what they're doing is they're doing small solo projects. But then Morgan Heritage itself as a group is also going to come back this summer.
Okay.
They're touring Europe in the summer, so that is something else in the pipeline.
All right.
But then, if I'm not touring, then I'm doing production on shows, again, as a production manager. So the last production I did was, again, in February with John Holt.
Wow.
And there's a group called Lust, L-U-S-T. They are Lucky D, Singing Melody, Trailer U, and they've come together and they form a group called Lust. They're individual artists, you know, but they still come together because togetherness obviously is stronger than... So we did a Valentine showcase in February, and on the show like that, I was a production manager, making sure that from the time the venue opens until we finish the show. I'm responsible for making sure we brought in backline, you know, PA, set up the show, running order, coordinating the show and everything. So apart from the 9 to 5, I'm always involved in reggae music. Reggae music is life, you know, and
this is what we need in Ghana. I wanna jam it with